Thank you, Bahar. We're gonna start in a very small time to the next performance by Ghazel. Please stay tuned, and it will be also silent. And you to enjoy it, you can maximize your the webcam only. So yeah. Well, thank you, Ghazel. This was the last performance of tonight, and we are here sitting with Ghazel and with Forough. So we will try to turn on the other camera so you can see us, or I can actually move it somewhere more easily. Sure. So, hello everyone. Can anybody hear me? I don't know. Write in the chat, or if you have any questions. So, okay, I'm online. It's just like a little bit. It's too much close. Yes. Hi, Ada. This is Ghazel. This is me. We're like sitting on even chair. So, if there are questions, we will be happy to talk. We've seen 3 performances, and this is closes the Motavali. It's a little bit awkward. Maybe I go down to. Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting somewhere up. I can come down and sit in this cozy place with Ghazel. So, yes, now it's better. Yeah, I guess we have a question from Hamza. Hamza is typing. You can unmute yourself also, and Forough, identify yourself as you're here. Look at that. All right, okay, we're now to go for here. Want to be in the camera or not? Okay, you're avoiding the camera. So, nice one. Okay, no, it's fine. Hi. It's a little bit dark here, like in Berlin. Nice. It's nice. Dark is better. So if you have questions, you can just unmute yourself, or you can just type in the chat. We would be happy to talk with you also if you have. I will wait. So we're typing. What is going on, Forough? I mean, you look very strange. Is it the host, or is it somebody trying to be you? You're muted.
No, it's me.
Oh, there is a question for Ghazel. Yes, what did you say, Forough?
We have a question for the last performance. The question is, what makes this performance different than screening?
Do you hear me? Hello? They hear me?
Yes, yes.
The difference between a screening is that it was done live in front of a CCTV camera. It is not a video. It was done live.
Yes. So, yeah, that was a very short
You want,
and
no,
sweet
you want to answer? It was done live, and it was not a video. It was done live in front of a CCTV camera.
The camera is aiming at some place that the performance were happening. So we have a screen in the middle of like witnessing in front of the webcam, witnessing the camera connected to another camera, which is live. No, it was not recorded, Eda. Yes.
No.
So I have a question for Forough. How complicated it was to organize this, and are you happy with what just happened? Because it was an experiment, right?
Yes, but first, before answering your question, I have a question to you. How come you pronounce my name so unusual as with English accent?
I say Forough and not Forough. That's
I
why.
don't know. It sounded weird. Anyway, I started with this. Like I had a very bad experience with this. Another experience that was in a format of radio show, and it was terrible. So after being here, all the meetings we have been having during the festival in the frame of lab participation, and seeing all the stuff happening with muting, unmuting, and chatting, and miscommunication, and so on, that it didn't take long for me to make it, like to put it together in a sense, but it took all the living lab experiences to just ideas come together.
Interesting. So it was the kind of a mirror to what was happening in the past 3, 4 months. You're feeling about it, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, I think BBB is like a learning platform. I mean, it's not like geared for performances. Sometimes it's like, and then there is, it tried to be, as I understood, it's a little bit like tried to imitate democracy. I don't know if like too much democracy is like useful in the circumstances or not, but it has its own pro and cons, like good points and bad points. So, for example, also we're here with the festival, we had like some issues, like with the. I mean, of course, it was safer for many of us, connecting to something, not giving access to our computers and not to be registering, giving, sharing personal data, I suppose. But then for performance, sometimes, I mean, we have been using Zoom, and it's kind of handy, but I'm not here to compare. That was not my decision to take. So I see somebody's chatting, and one of your alter ego is chatting, is putting something in the chat. And yes, and I want to ask you also for Ghasel, about the works that she does with the maps, because this has some connection with her previous works. And this is just, these performances you started during the pandemic, right? Or am I not correct? You've been doing it before that.
No, the performance on the rooftop with the CCTV and without CCTV has been, started in the pandemic. The first one was a live one with the Instagram live performance. And then I recorded 28 days with each day there was a plane going, but it was aluminum. This is a sequel of another film I had made, a video performance. And it was the same planes. I recycled the same planes, just added 4 because it had to be 55. And the idea was to do it in front of the CCTV camera.
And they're like, what kind of a material you use this time?
This time was the recycled planes, which are made from maps, the world maps, which are very present in my work in drawings and performances. World maps.
Yeah, I mean, you found them in Iran or?
No, these are Iranian world maps. There's no Israel. There's Palestine, but no Israel. They're normal world maps you can buy in any stationery store in Iran.
Okay, the standard Iranian
Standard,
version.
exactly.
Okay, I see. So multiple user are typing. You can also unmute yourself and ask, by the way. So we are 22 people in the room. Forough, is that you typing? No, shouldn't be you. And if since Bahar is not here with us, I mean, if anybody has a question for her, I can make sure that she will get it. Okay, for making this performance, what did you think about? It's for you, Forough. Go ahead. Okay, there is a there is a question about what is silence? Is there any relation between the space and silence as a sign for imagination?
For me?
I think it's for you.
Could you share your website? Yes, of course.
can
First
take
of all, CCTV cameras are silent. And so I don't see why I should add music. I mean, I would not add, normally never add anything to reality. You know, I use reality as it is. So I'm not going to add sound because CCTVs don't have sound. And it's the quality of the CCTV, the webcam to that. So yeah, of course, silence is very important in these things because sort of you get lost in the image, and I think the silence actually is very powerful here. And for my website, that's me.
Ghazel is right. That's
Yeah,
me.
me. But there's not many things on the website. You just have to Google Ghazel. It's better. You Google Ghazel, Iranian artist or something like that. You'll find a lot of stuff. But there's some stuff on the website.
And then there is a public like Instagram.
Yes, the public Instagram.
So Hamza, we hope that we answered your question, or I saw you typing. But in the meanwhile, there is a question for you, Forough. Yes, Hamza, you can talk directly.
Yeah, what I was trying to say that about all the silence in general, it's a general question, not for a person as a performance. I see like 3 performance, and what I was, I get lost because like internet go and come back, but when it come back, I see some silence, silent videos. So I get like bored at the beginning. Then after like 10 seconds, I say to myself, like for me as a personal thing, I don't know silence in my life. Like there is always crowds and there are always a lot of people in my head, and not only people, a lot of thoughts, a lot of everything, like in our head. So yeah, this is make me feel something I don't know how to ask about it.
It was a good question, actually, because I took it personally. But actually, yes, silence does open your senses for imagination. You know, if you think of meditation with no music, actually, real meditation, or qigong, that silence is very present too, and it stops the real world. And I think my idea of the CCTV cameras on the rooftop, besides of the symbolic of the plane and the crash and etc., was also the fact that everything slowed down or stopped. So for me, silence is stopping, actually, in a way.
But I'm not talking about meditation. I'm not looking for inner peace. I am looking for
outer peace.
No, I'm not looking for anything. I am just feeling, saying what I feel about about this crowdy world that we are in. There is no dictionary for silence.
Yes.
There is no dictionary for anything alternative, I think. So it's maybe it's not a question. Maybe I don't know how to make it a question.
Yeah, it was.
I feel,
yeah.
It's a very interesting point that you brought up, Hamza. Thank you. And then, I mean, for Bahar, since she's not here, I thought, I mean, for me also, sometimes I work with video. It has something to do with a little bit like when things are silent, we're sometimes focused on one sense that we can feel, and if we have the space to be able to focus on something, it works better. For example, I was trying to really understand what's going on, reading the titles and captions in those works, and I think sometimes even by a chance this happens, And when one person cannot sense all the five, uh, I also have like I'm experiencing some sight problems sometimes. So it is important to focus on the other, and they will gain weight in your sensually understanding of your surrounding as well. Forough, there are two questions for you. There is one question for you and there is one thank you. So go ahead and what did you think about while making this performance? Is it coming from a personal experience?
I don't know exactly what is the meaning of personal experience, but I think I had a question in my mind. Then whatever I was doing, the question was present, and because of the presence of that question, I was seeing things through a lens, seeing all different things that were not related to each other, but actually the lens that I was looking at from, yeah, no, wait, the lens I was from which I was looking at the world was making connections between things. Like, for example, the idea of modern talking, or in general, the name or karaoke came up when I was riding a bike, and by chance, my Spotify suggested me modern talking, which made me feel nostalgic, and then I just collected small things from the previous experience, as I mentioned before, of the radio show that was a failure, and then the reality what I was living in, and everything somehow found some kind of membrane that gathered them together.
And what, I mean, if I may ask, I mean, about this multiple identities, like what was your intention? You try to hide or make it a bit complex for others. So we will focus on an imaginary character in the chat instead of like who said what, just like coming different voices in one person's head.
Well, the thing is, I wanted to take away the personal identity of people who are participating in a way that they feel free to participate however they want. On the other hand, I have been recently a lot thinking about social movements and how things start from somewhere, and sometimes they just deviate or some in a wrong direction. Sometimes the whole thing finds another direction which is better, like to see how a collectivity could take on the agency, like each individual, how they play roles in collectivities. That was one idea. And the other thing is that then I thought to myself, okay, if people do not have any identity just because of the platform, how do they enter? Or should I create a third person identity? And I didn't want to create. The safest thing was that if it's going to be harmful or not harmful, if it is going to have consequences, that's the thing I am doing, and that's the thing I'm making people in to do. So maybe I should take the responsibility of that. And therefore, I asked everyone to put my name, but it was not as, in my understanding, it was not as an egoistic act, but the opposite. I wanted people to feel free, and they could use my name in order to do whatever they want. And I had imagined kind of rougher reaction of people, or less love, or caring, although it might be I mean, we don't know, because the text does not have any intonation, so we don't know when you read something from someone, we don't know if it is an irony or not. But it was interesting for me to see how the way changed from my imagination, although I was myself trying to kind of put in words somehow whenever people were silent, to poke or to do stuff. But it actually went quite far from what I have imagined.
I see. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I did. So we can have one or two. We have a little bit of time, but we can have one or two questions, and that since our time still allows us. Otherwise, I mean, if there are any comments in general, we would be happy if you write us to tell us what did you think about these 9 performances which happened. The performances yesterday will be uploaded again, so for the people who missed it, they can listen to it. And I wanted to thank the team from Amber Festival and the producer, which is Oyun, and all the artists participating. We will be more. You will be hearing from us once more next Friday. We're gonna have an online screening, which will be streamed here and also on YouTube and Vimeo. And I would like to invite you for that as well. In that program, Siavash Naqshbandi will have also a piece, as well as Ghazel and Arash, Fayez, which were in this program, along with, in general, we have 14 videos in that program, and some of them are premiering for the first time. I want to thank you for joining us in these 3 nights, and if there is no question, we can close this marathon of performances, and it was really a big organization behind it, and I would like to thank everybody involved and you with your patience and the energy you gave us following the program. So yeah, thank you all. And so many folks are still thanking. Thank you all. Ada, you want to say something?
No, I just want to say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I wish to see you soon. Ciao. We're gonna lose from here. Axam, we're gonna make a screenshot to remember.